Welcome back, everybody. Long time no paint, but I'm here again to show you how to paint an owlbear. Paint an owlbear very fast. We are going to use one of my favorite kind of free-flowing painting techniques, and that is painting using virtually nothing but paint washes. This works very well when you're painting something large and organic, either painting a large amount of skin, feathers, fur, or in this case, fur and feathers. This technique involves painting in reverse, so we need to start with a very light undercoat, and then we're going to use the washes and work our way from the base coat into the recesses with all our shade colors. So because I always prime with black, we need to start off with an undercoat of Vallejo Model Color Beige, and this needs to be a fairly solid coat. Starting off with a lighter colored primer is also perfectly acceptable, but I was too lazy to start up the airbrush booth, so we're going with a brush. As mentioned, we are going to be working from light to dark, so anything that I want lighter in color than the beige, I have to paint that now. So a little bit of white in your lighter underbelly color, and also the tips of the feathers. Just a light dry brush to get us kind of all the colors in place, all our highlight colors in place before we begin with the washing process. We begin with an overall fairly light color, in this case desert yellow, and this is going over pretty much the entire owlbear, a little bit in those white areas I just did, not completely covering them, but pretty much everything else. As we work from lightest to darkest, we are going to start with light colors, and then we're going to go to a slightly darker color, and so on and so on and so forth, until we get to all those little neat owlbear nooks and crannies. If you do make any mistakes during this entire process of washes, you can go back and do a little bit fixing, like I'm doing here, with some dry brushing. Right out of the gate, I determined that putting the desert yellow on my white areas was a little bit darker than what I'm going to want in the end. So, bit of cleanup work with some pale sand, and we're ready to continue on the process. You can do the same, fixing little areas anytime throughout this process if you put on a wash that's a little bit too heavy. Our first real main color is going to be game color leather brown. And you can see here I'm already moving down from the upper highlighted areas of the model, mainly at this point just the tips of the wings and the underbelly, trying to skip those, but I'm hitting everything else on the model with this wash. This process doesn't involve just simply one wash of one color and then moving on to a different color. We can apply multiple coats of the same wash. We just have to wait for the first wash to dry, and then any areas where I want the color darker, mainly the furry areas, working on the back towards the arms and the head, you can see applying a second coat there. We are now getting a little bit closer to our straight out of the bottle color leather brown as those washes build up. It's a lot like the layering process. We put on very thin layers and then just slowly build them up till we get a darker color. Moving on to a darker brown, and this time a little bit of red in our color. And you can see here we're already moved on to the back, and again we're going to put this on in two coats. The first single coat is still going into those wings along the arms. A lot of it's in the back here. This is our thinner coat, so this is kind of our transition color between the areas. And then for the second coat, that's mainly applied on the back. And you can see here how the back is a very solid color. We have some of the highlights from the previous layer showing through on like the arms and around the wings, but the back is a much more solid Gorgon brown. And you only want to do that if you're planning to put a darker wash on top of that area. If I wanted to stop here, this would be too dark. We don't have any highlighting in the fur. So just remember that as you're going through, don't put a complete solid wash on unless it's only part of the process and you're still planning on going darker. For our final shading wash, going with charred brown. This is mainly just on the back because that's the area I want darkest on our owlbear, going from that light pale sand color in the underbelly towards the much darker brown back. And notice I'm applying this in a stippling fashion, so that breaks up any potential brushstroke lines if I just went up and down, applying this. Doing stippling just breaks up the edge and helps to blend the color in better. So now we have majority of our regular highlights and shades in the model. Basically, we're going from very light brown to very dark brown, but let's now add a little bit of color. A little bit of Oxford blue around the face and mainly around the wings. Again, this is just applied very thin. This is kind of like a glaze, but because we have a very textured surface here, it's going on a bit more like a wash. But I am building this color up slowly because we are introducing a very foreign color into this brown owlbear. And building it up, I think this was about 3 coats you're seeing right here. And you can start seeing the color come through. And because we are applying the paint so thin, it's actually a nice subtle transition. If we apply this straight out of the bottle, you just have this very stark brown, stop, and then blue. And we want to avoid that. We want something that looks more organic and more natural. From blue, we move to violet, and I think now you're really hopefully seeing why I really like this technique. Not only is it very easy, but I think it gives a much more natural transition of colors on a living creature. I think a newer painter would look at the feathers on the wings, for example, and see 3 different stages or lines of feathers and paint those as, okay, I'm going to paint this as ivory, and then the next one light brown, and then the third one dark brown. But when you employ the wash method here, the transition of colors kind of gets blended together, and it's much more natural, in my opinion, than a hard edge stop. Okay, now here's another line of feathers, and now here's a hard edge stop, and here's another line, a different color of feathers. It just looks far more organic if you try to blend all those colors together, just throwing washes here and there, and just let them work together. Also, just because we are using virtually nothing but washes here does not mean we are restricted to only using washes. When I started painting this owlbear, I had no plans of putting blue or violet into the planned brown color. But once I started putting in, I realized, I'm going to do a little bit more. So I started off with glacier blue and sky blue mixed together in sort of a wash dry brush. Basically, I'm dry brushing a glaze onto the wings. And after putting that down, I realized, I could still go a little bit more blue. So just straight sky blue, a little bit thicker this time now that the surface has a little bit of blue in it and it's been prepared a bit. I can get away with adding just a little hint of blue in the wings. So very oddly, but I think it works. We go from a very light blue to a brown, and then we transition to a darker blue. There is a few areas on the model that were not taken care of by all our washes, mainly in this case the hands and the feet I'm concerned about. Whenever you want to get a smooth color transition between 2 different body types, in this case skin and fur, you want to start off with a color that kind of matches whatever you used in that area before. Remember, we have the beige that's covered with the desert yellow and the leather brown. So I'm starting off with English uniform because that will blend in nicely with that yellowish brown color. I do want the paws a little bit more on the pink side, but I can't just start off with that pink color. We put down the English uniform first, then we transition to a mix of basic skin tone and English uniform, and then finish off with the highlight of just the straight basic skin tone. A similar situation we have with the ears. Decided to go pink with the ears. First I did blue, didn't look good. Decided to go for more inner ear color, and just straight pink color, too stark against what we have on the model currently, colors we have on the model currently. So beige red mixed with English uniform. Then I could put the beige red on straight, and then gave it a bit of a wash with beige red mixed with gory red. The last little bit I'll give you is painting eyeballs. Whenever you're painting animal eyeballs, you want to go for really big eyes, so more of the pupil and the iris than the white area. We start off with some off-white and then big black circles. That's going to be the edge of our eyeball. And now I'm dotting that in with white, leaving a little black edge. I'm using white here because if you're going to use a very transparent color to paint your eyes, I was initially planning on doing yellow. You need to put the white down first because it's just not going to cover the black. For the highlights, we actually want to highlight the bottom of the eye, not the top. That's because humans and animals tend to have a sort of an eyebrow ridge, so there's a bit of shadow on the top of the eye, so you highlight the bottom instead. And then we just finish up with the pupil, a little bit of black, or a lot of bit of black. Want to go for large pupils, and you can do a little drop of white for reflection in the corners, but only do that if you don't plan on glossing the eyes. I always add a little bit of gloss, so I don't bother with the little sparkle of white. And that is it. One painted owlbear, painted, again, very simply with washes, but just using washes alone, we still have a lot of color in our owlbear, and not including dry times between all our washes. Took about an hour or so to paint. Not too bad. Last thing, big announcement. Coming next year, which is in just a couple days, going to be seeing some changes coming to the channel. I'm doing a reformat because trying to do the old format with my new job, as you've noticed, it's getting very hard to make videos on a regular schedule. So going to be going a little bit of a different route for more content. So come back. We're going to have a lot more in 2025. See you then. Bye-bye.
We're going to have leadership the way my old man told me. You put a handkerchief on your head. You spotted imaginary elves. You rock on the porch all night.